If you currently own a home and are considering transitioning to a new home, there are a couple of considerations to take, before you get too far along. And the first here is whether you should rent out your current home or whether you should sell it. Are you comfortable being a landlord? How do you move the proceeds from one house to the other? Can you qualify for that second home if you don't sell that first home? And those are all really valid considerations. And let's talk through those three here. So first and foremost, do you want to be a landlord? It's ultimately running your business, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Real estate is a cash producing asset immediately, whereas if you were to just start any other business or most other businesses, there's a really big ramp up period. It takes a while to create any sort of revenue. However, owning a piece of rental property, you can get a tenant in there generally pretty easily, especially right now, and create revenue day one. But ultimately you're managing people, and that's where the challenge comes in. So if your emotions are still attached to the property, you see someone not treat the property like you would, that's where it gets really difficult. And my best advice would be, when you move on, try and approach that previous residence as a business and make decisions for you and your family from that perspective. Secondly here, how can you use the equity in that first home, if you're not going to sell it, to purchase the subsequent home? And there's a few different ways you can do that. You can add a home equity line of credit. You can refinance the home. You are taking on more debt, but the idea is to let the rental income from that property pay for that debt and ultimately pay for the down payment on the next home. And then thirdly, can you qualify for that next home without selling your previous residence? And not everyone can. For those that have sufficient income to qualify for two properties, best case scenario, you purchase the new property, then put a renter in the property, carrying that kind of max debt load during qualification. However, if you can't, there's some efficiencies we can offer, or some strategies we can offer that would help you bridge the gap. And what you can do is, while you're still in that original home, market your property for rent, find that tenant, execute a lease agreement, but make it contingent upon successful purchase of your next home for the contract or the rental agreement to be valid. If you have any legal concerns, of course, consult an attorney, but I've seen that work over and over again, and it's a really good way to ensure you're not homeless, and also create a lease agreement that will help us create more income within your financial profile to help you qualify for the next home. Is it worth all the extra effort to hang on to that first residence? I submit the answer to that is yes. By owning more real estate, so you have more exposure to appreciation cycles, you have a larger loan balance that's being paid down, and the beauty is the tenant is paying down the mortgage balance on your rental property. Those two benefits, month over month over month over month, and rather than just owning one property, you own two, so you kind of compound the benefits, are definitely worthwhile if you can sleep well at night and are comfortable with kind of all the moving parts.